Hello all, welcome to TechnoStech. In the section of working with basics of computers for government examinations, today we are going to look into the topic of types of computers. So keep your book and pen ready, take down the shorthand notes and notes required. So let us get started. So we'll be seeing various classification of it. So first is based on operation. So on the based of operation, there are three types of computers, that is analog computer, digital computer and hybrid computer. So what exactly is one is everything over here, you will see one by one. So first is analog computer. An analog computer stores data continuously. You can just mark this, stores data continuously in the form of physical quantities and perform calculation with the help of measures. It produces output in the form of a graph. So whatever data that you give, it will store it and then process it, and it will give you output as a visualization of a graph. So you might have noticed that in Excel or sometimes whenever you give the data that is processed and that comes out is either a pie chart or either a bar chart or it's either a line chart, etc. So it gives you a graph of information that whatever it is not fixed, right? Okay, it will be like it is not digital signals 0 and 1, 0 and 1, they're analog. So it will give you like the graph positions of waves. So that is the output of it. They are used in calculations of physical variables such as voltage, pressure, temperature, speed, etc. So what they are used for is they are not used in common use. They are majorly used in industries whenever you want to measure voltage, then pressure, then temperature, speed, etc. in big industries and companies. So this is where you use analog computers. The next one are digital computer. A digital computer is most commonly used type of computer and is working with data represented in digital form, that is zeros and one, usually that is binary zeros and one. So the basic language that a computer uses binary, that is zeros and ones. The computer, like what we understand is our native language dialect that we use, like English, then whatever dialects that we have, that is Hindi, Gujarati in India. So similarly, computer understands it in binaries, that is zeros and ones. It can perform faster and give more accurate results. They're extensively used for solving complex problems in the field of engineering, technology, design, research and data processing. Used is engineering and technological field, commonly also at home also we use digital computers, right? Then in designing and research and in data processing. Then there is hybrid computers. Hybrid computers are the combination of both analog as well as digital. So a hybrid computer is a combined feature of analog and digital computers. In large industries and businesses, you can just in this large industries and businesses, a hybrid computer can be used for logical operations as well as efficient processing of differential equations. So whenever you are, like, this is only example, many other places also it can be used. If you are aware of the differential equations, if you are processing differential equations, then you need a hybrid computer. So what it does is you give a particular combination of data and then it processes and gives you output. So this is where all these computers are used and this is what they are based on operation. The next category that we are going to look into is based on configuration. Based on configuration, we have totally, here is again 4 are here, and then 4 basic on the basis of configuration is given. So based on configuration, there is micro, mini, mainframe and super. So how what they are, we'll just see. Microcomputers are small, inexpensive computers for personal use. So whatever computers that you use, including your laptops, are microcomputers. They're popularly used at home for playing games and surfing the internet, also for doing work that we do. Then there is mini computers. Mini computers possess the most of the features and capabilities of a large computer but smaller in physical size. They are used as small or mid-range operating businesses and scientific applications. So all these are just applications, that's why I'm not explaining each and everything in detail. If you have any of the doubts or if you still feel that something is missing over here, you can just mention in the comment section and I'll definitely reply to your queries and questions. Then after mini, so it's micro, is less than mini, then that's less than mainframe, that is less than supercomputers. I'll just write the hierarchy over here so that it will be useful if certain question like that comes in any of the examinations. This is the hierarchy, that micro is less than mini, is less than mainframe, is less than super. This is based on size of the computers, okay, size. Now, on the basis of computation, the order goes in reverse, that is computation is also same, micro less than mini, less than mainframe, less than super. And then so we'll be seeing that what is mainframe computers next. So this is just a hierarchy that I gave, so in a way if anywhere it comes as a question, you can just attempt it very easily. So mainframe computers are expensive. They're expensive compared to the upper two. They're large in size compared to the both of them, mini and micro, and they're capable of supporting hundreds of users simultaneously. They are used for specific large-scale applications. For very specific applications they are used. Nowadays mainframes are used very less. They are not used at all, maybe because only a microcomputer can also do such things. So this is what I'm saying about today's scenario. Back before 5 to 10 years also these were extensively used. So then supercomputers are very powerful, expensive, and the fastest computers. They have the architectural and operational principles from parallel and grid processing for performing billions and trillions of calculations per second. So these are basically used for data processing and calculations in like billions and trillions of numbers at a time. So if you are like using it for home purpose, then it's not required because they are very huge. They are the size of a room. So they're very huge. So they are only there in big industries or businesses where they need certain type of applications that will be seen further. They're used for applications that require a large amount of mathematical computations like weather forecasting, fluid dynamics, graphic design, etc. India launched MIHI, first supercomputer recently to improve India's weather forecasting. Okay, so this is what you should remember. It's a fact file. So this is a fact file that I gave that you should remember. So these are little fact files that are related to current affairs maybe that you should remember. Okay, so we'll go to the next category, that is based on utility. So based on utility, there is general purpose computer and special purpose computer. So a general purpose computer can perform an extensive variety of operations. Like as the name suggests, general purpose is used everywhere, and special purpose computers are computers that are used only for specific purpose. So general purpose computers are extensive variety of they can do extensive variety of operation. They can store and execute different programs in its internal storage. All mainframes, servers that is internet servers, laptop and desktop computers, smartphones that we use, and tablets are general purpose devices. Special purpose computers are designed to solve specific problems. They focus on only specific purposes. They are not general in use. They can do only a certain amount of things. The instructions are pre-programmed permanently in the computer. They're like embedded systems, completely controlled by automated manufacturing processes. Example, aircraft control system, electronic voting machines, that is EVM machines that we have, etc. So these were on the basis of utility. It's not that difficult to remember on this basis, so I'll just discuss. Then next is based on mode of use. This is the last category in the types of computers. They have 5 major types of computers based on mode of use. Yeah, first is palm top computers, that is usually bigger than your tablet, and a little bigger than your tablet and smartphone, and little less than laptop. Palm tops are small, which fit in a palm. fit in the palm of hand. The electronic pen is used to give an input. You can use electronic pen, or either now you can use fingers also. They have small disk storage and can be connected to a wireless network. So you can connect it to internet or a network of computers. Sorry for these things. Okay, so laptop computers. Next is laptop computers are portable. You all know this because we regularly use all these things, so there is nothing more to discuss in it right now. So laptop computers are portable with less weight. It can be transported easily and used temporary spaces such as airplane, meetings, etc. They are designed for low power consumption and have attached keyboard and touchpad. We all know that a laptop looks something like a suitcase, like it has a screen and a keyboard and touchpad attached to it. Then we have a personal computer, that is a cost-effective computer that is designed for a single end user. So one user can use it at a time. PC dependent on microprocessor technology. We have like Intel is the microprocessor that we used in many of it. Then it is AMC and other things also, like other microprocessors also come. So you might have heard that Intel Core i5, i7. So there are microprocessor technologies which allow PC makers to set the entire central processing unit on a single chip. So these processors are just a chip form of it, and that is the brain of computers, that works as a brain of computers somehow. Then workstation is faster than personal computers. It is designed for the user or group of user with better multitasking capacity, additional random access, that is additional RAM is given, additional random access memory, higher speed, graphic adapters and drive capacity. So they are like they have graphic adapters and drive capacity more than personal computers. Then there is client server. The server is a device that manages the sharing of network resources to the users. An application server, file server, virtual server, mail server. Application servers and file servers are found in our PCs itself. Virtual server is something that you get over the internet. Mail servers is used to send and receive mails. So there is a server for that also, or some types of servers. A client is receiving end of the service which is made by the server. So server is sending the message to the client and client receives the messages. So this is like server and this is client. Then server, like you request something from client to server and server provides the information and data that you need, and that is given to client and client will receive the service. It requests the server and gains the access with the server. So this was all in the types of computers. Stay tuned for more such content to Technostic. Please do like, share and subscribe our channel. Thank you.